The following is a fictitious episode in the lives of two make-believe hobos. The characters and events you hear are not real. Don't freak out.
Yeah, having our fun together. Nobody gonna come between us. Gotta stay all our friends together with us. Now, at the end, not the beginning. That's all for this. Everyone's gathering together and we're gonna be best friends forever in the boxcar. And everyone's talking about where we are, which is near the lake, because we gotta get some food. It's not fake, we're hungry. Really, really hungry.
I want a fucking Burger King.
Give us those fries right now.
Fries in my stomach.
Put them in that oil.
Funnel down that peanut oil into my body, baby.
Spread it on his mouth. That man's hungry.
Open wide.
Yeah, eat up.
Ooh. Oh, it was like waterboarding, but with like French fry oil. It was delicious.
You're lucky I didn't put a washcloth over your face.
Oh, thanks for not doing that. Oof. But it does taste better. You're right. Waterboarding with it makes it taste a lot better.
It's a lot less torturous and more like a fetish thing.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that between the blood rush and like the various thoughts going through, I was definitely aroused there for a little bit in between it. And it was, as I said, delicious. It was delicious. Thank you guys for helping us out with that. We appreciate the oil. That was cool.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was really not that hard to get that from the job.
That song sucked.
Yeah, it really did, man. That was terrible.
Well, listen, we do this to warm up.
Oh, you know what else sucks? Hey, you guys!
Fuck off! Get off my leg!
Oh,
Get
God,
the fuck out of here!
spleen.
Oh, man, he shot me 6-7 times, man. That's not cool, man.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe you'll think about that next time that you're gonna fucking rip on our songs. Exactly.
Tell my wife.
Charles, you killed Charles, man. I'm not gonna
make sure to
forget
get
about
that
this.
message to her. Tell her,
Yeah, you get the fuck out of here, Franklin. We're done with you, too. And you better move, otherwise Greg's gonna fucking shoot you, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Yeah, all right. You guys, we're not gonna forget about this. I'm talking to my union.
Yeah, you get the fuck out of here. Fucking slinky-ass little dude. What is up with that, man?
making fun of our singing.
That's
our job.
And you know what? Like, we just asked for oil. We didn't ask for any fucking commentary.
Yeah.
Did we say anything about them
No.
talking after?
They had a bunch of excess frying oil for a McDonald's. We said we will happily drink it. Mm-hmm. You get to film this shit, and you get your rocks off to whatever.
Totally.
Whatever.
And their Snapchat story is probably like, it probably looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably better than anything they were gonna put up, like more, frying French fries
we're
videos.
on it now. Ho, ho.
Damn right. And we are the Boxcar Buddies. What's up? I'm Don.
I'm Greg.
We hang out together. Greg and I do.
Sometimes we sit down, sometimes we stand up, sometimes we sneak around, sometimes we slinky around, sometimes we share a sleeping bag.
Yeah, we do. We
Other
only
times
have
we
one.
sleep in separate sleeping bags if one or the other is a little angry.
Yeah, which does happen. Again, Greg, sorry about the the other day. I definitely grabbed Greg's robot hand there and made use of it in an inappropriate way that one might do late at night when one is between sweet dreams.
I unplugged it from my arm. I had it charging.
Yeah.
And there Don was pretending to be jacking off.
Yeah.
With my hand.
I thought it was funny, but Greg didn't find it amusing at all.
No.
And once the screaming was
once
done-
you started doing that, how could I grab you? Huh?
Yeah, I know, it's not cool.
I've got one arm.
It's against bro
and
code.
no hands.
And it's against bro code. You don't do that if somebody's really in the middle of it. You just quietly make your exit.
You cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me real deep.
Yeah. So anyway, there was some definite lone sleeping bag time for Greg there over the last few days. But since the frying oils came through, and now here we are with this baggie full of French fries, why don't you take the first crack at that, my man?
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice. Yeah, just the smell in this boxcar right now is...
I feel like when I put my head in the bag, I'm like a horse that's given a big ball of hay.
A feed bag. Yeah, just strap it on there, buddy. It's making its way all the way through that. Not all the way through, though, seriously, because I definitely want some of those. But thank you. Yes. Yep. Oh, my gosh. Really tasty.
Unfortunately, we are not sponsored by McDonald's, but hey,
No.
Mickey D's, if you want to hit us up, feel free to hit our email address, goodgregslist@gmail.com. That would be excellent.
That'd be cool. We're always down to eat some fries and talk about how great they are. Man. Even the oil. Thanks for the letting us use the oil, by the way. And, yeah. But what Greg and I like to do is, normally, since we're homeless dudes in Chicago, we meet up every week and talk about different stuff that we've been, getting down on, whether that might be video games, movies, music, books.
Burying our faces into something tasty, tantalizing,
Yes.
salty.
And unique to that day because, boy, sometimes days after days really just bleed into one another and can really get you down. Whatever it is, if it's coworkers, bills, reality shit that nobody wants to deal with, man, like sometimes that can just get you down. And so that's why Greg and I like to escape into various forms of content and then tell each other how we felt about it, whether it was a waste of time or if the journey was indeed worth it and if we escaped successfully for a few hours or days or whatever.
Yeah, we're like escape artists, but from reality.
Yeah, from the drudges, from the balls and chains. Is it ball and chains? Is that the plural or
It's
balls?
just ball and chain.
Yeah, but if there's multiples, we think it's ball and chains.
I think it's just ball and chain, regardless of anything. There's always just one ball, one chain, because that's
Sufficient.
I
suppose.
I mean, it
so.
sounds weird to say balls and chains.
It does.
It goes from like talking about, oh man, life has really held me down to me and my girlfriend tried something new in the bedroom today. Balls and chains.
It's balls and chains week.
Yeah, and yeah, okay, so it does sound weird. I will stick with ball
Me and my
chain then.
sister just pulled out some balls and chains. We didn't know where it was gonna go, but it was an adventure for us.
It was great. I was like, this is why you were adopted in the first place. This is
I was like, I'm
wonderful.
so glad to be a Mormon.
That's right.
'Cause
Everything's
things
new.
just get really interesting for us.
Everything's new now.
Yeah.
And my magic underwear makes me feel so special.
So, yeah. Anyway, though, Greg and I like to talk about content. That's the long and the short of it there. And in an effort to move back to the short of it, I guess I will talk to you, Greg, about some of the content that I got into.
Tell me the
this past
thingy
week.
that you saw your face with.
Well, so what I did was I've been hanging down by North Avenue Beach, the little curly one, out into the lake there, and
This circle-y one?
yeah, it sort of like does like a. Like the shot, the cover of A Nightmare Before Christmas, where Jack is standing on the hill, but the hill like spirals into itself in front of the
curly
moon.
Q?
Yeah, the curly Q. Yeah, that's the sort of what the North Avenue Beach looks like from above. It's like a curly Q out into the water.
It's just a big spiral. It's a big hypnotism circle.
It really is. And anyway, there's someone that lives out there on like a tiny boat that just kind of posts up on that whirly circle, that curly Q there. And his name is Charles. Let's call him
Charles.
Yeah, his name's Charles. He's at least that's how I know him. But he's definitely not from here. He's got this East Coast thing going on. He's just
Oh, like me.
yeah. A little farther north though. He's from the New York area, New York, New Jersey. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Well, he's definitely been into some strange stuff, and he's actually. I asked him to come. I asked him to come over here today because
Oh, boy.
I just wanted him to come say hi because he did me a favor, let me hang out, and obviously we watched some content together. So Charles, just come on and say hi. This is Greg, and our podcast listeners. Hey, this is Charles Swirsky, and what up, Charles? Say hello.
Hey, hello everybody. I got just happy to be here. I'm not from these parts, but you guys will make me feel very welcome. Very
Can you
welcome
speak
indeed.
up? Because I can't hear you past your nasal congestion.
Yeah, he's very congested though. Charles, move a little closer into the microphone if you could.
Not that close. All right, back up.
Yeah, there we go. You're fine. Anyway, Charles is he's
Boundaries.
He worked in sort of organized labor, let's call it, out for many years in the New York, New Jersey, Atlantic City area, and he's got the little boat to show for it and a lot of weird treasures. And we
So you're some kind of like New Yorker pirate?
You could call me that, something like that. It's more somebody that says, I like what I see there, and I'm going to take it from you now.
It sounds like a pirate.
yeah, it's a little piratey, Charles.
That sounds like piracy.
I'll tell you this, I worked many businesses, used cars, used boats, mainly made some people causing problems disappear. Why do we say that?
So you're like a pirate of the land. So a land pirate.
I have been called this and many other things, but you say what you will. My name's Charles, your name is Greg. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm not touching your hand. You sound very sick.
Why don't you shake that hand here?
How
Just
about
give me a little
you
shake right
get the
there.
hell
There
away
we
from
go.
me.
Okay, Charles, thank you very much. As I said, I'll call you about the favors. I just wanted you to say hi to everybody.
Learn some
We can get a-
boundaries.
Fellas, nice to meet you both. I'll see you later.
Leave.
Okay, later, buddy. That's Charles, everybody. That's Charles Swirsky. He's a bit of a germ guy. He's very clogged up, as you might have heard there. Talked about neti pots. He's just not a fan. Said something about brain-eating amoebas, and that was the end of the discussion.
No, my
pretty
mom
much.
used to say the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brain-eating
Right after
amoebas?
she finally took a neti pot, and she was like, all right, let's see if I was true or not. And sure enough, there she was, dead on the ground.
It really happened.
Yeah, it was a shame.
It is. Well,
But you
Be
know
careful.
what? You know what? Her nasal cavity was clean.
pristine. I bet you the air would have been flowing through there with ease were she still breathing. So
Yeah.
there's something there. But anyway, the
I
reason
mean, like, we tried. Like, I pressed my mouth against her nose, and I just went a bunch
yeah?
of times, and I thought it was working. She was getting, she was blowing up.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I mean, that must have been fun.
And then I tried to let it out. I was like, "Oh, you're breathing again, Ma." But then she wasn't taking air back in, so I just kept doing it over and over.
yeah, it's like a one-sided joke kind of a thing. There's no punchline. Just keeps being circular,
Yeah.
like the
It's just an infinity.
infinity loop. The
It
snake.
was like an Ouroboros.
It is right. So what Charles and I did on his little boat there, his houseboat, was we watched a new show, or not a new show, a new season of an old show on Netflix, Marvel's Daredevil.
Oh.
Season 3.
Oh, boy. They're still making those?
They're still making them.
I thought they were all canceled.
Well, you are correct in Luke Cage and Iron Fist having been canceled
Thank
by
God.
Netflix. It is, thank God, definitely Iron Fist, worst of the bunch. A case could be made. Some parts of Luke Cage were
The
definitely
first half
bad.
of season 1 of Luke Cage was great.
Good. Second
But
half.
once Copperhead was killed was when things got real shitty.
Agreed. Fully agree there. And so you're kind of left with like anyone who's watched them. Daredevil season 1, I believe, is regarded as the strongest of any of the shows that have been made, including the Defenders. And and then season 2 of Daredevil also fell off. It became less focused. They brought in some other characters. They fixated on the hand, and stick and all that stuff. Just got really a little scatterbrained, I thought. And it was
Couldn't make up its mind on what it wanted to be the Punisher at the same time.
Yes, exactly. And Kingpin was not in it, who was a huge part of the success of season 1.
Yeah,
Vincent
the reason
D'Onofrio's-
why that midsection of season 1 didn't feel so bloated was because it was time spent building our villain.
Exactly.
Whereas every single time they tried building villains in all the other shows, it's been like,
Yeah. And the strong villain is a huge part of what makes any of these shows work well, is that you need that rivalry between the two strong characters. And Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is definitely one of the best villains in the whole MCU. He's excellent. And that's one of the big parts of what makes season 3 good. It's not great. I'll say right off the bat, it's definitely still under the ceiling of what you expect
Foggy
from Marvel
still
shows.
the worst?
Actually, no. One of the strengths, the one thing they got right in this was, I just like you, was completely enamored with the side characters of Daredevil. Foggy and Karen Page, to me, anytime it was spent developing their stuff or being off with them, I thought was kind of a wasted time, let's just say. I wasn't
It was
invested in it.
padding.
Yeah, exactly. And seemingly obviously so. In season 3, they correct that by adding Foggy's family in it and taking a political turn for his career. And basically when I read that, I didn't think it was going to be strong, but it ends up being strong. And we're also given an entire episode in this season to Karen's backstory, what her life was like before she entered.
Finally, instead of doing all the here's a little nugget.
Exactly. They finally give you
And then
a whole
pile this whole giant 20-piece chicken nugget shit into one episode, and they're like, well, you won't see this for the rest of the season.
Right. And it's actually, it takes place later in the season. I believe it's episode 10. That's Karen's backstory. But the point is that, again, I didn't even at the beginning of this season, I didn't care for Karen or Foggy's stuff. But their development, what the writers did for them as the season went on, including Karen's episode, which was one of my favorites of the season, the way that it turned out, I didn't think it was going to grab me, but it really does. And all of a sudden it makes her make so much more sense. And with Foggy getting to see what his family is like and where he came from makes him make more sense. And the writers clearly just, I thought, made a real effort to kind of fill out these side characters in a way that they didn't before. Yeah. And that makes the universe altogether stronger, because you're never bouncing to a storyline that you really don't care about. So that was a thing that was pretty good. Another thing that was solid, I mean, as we were just talking about with Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio's in it every single episode, except for Karen's backstory, but the other
until he secretly appeared as a baby.
Totally.
Man, give me the money.
This is my plan, Vanessa.
This is my plan.
This
is my master plan.
He definitely he still says Vanessa a lot. I would love to see a Google search, a Control F find of the word Vanessa in his script, and how many times he actually was having to say it. I mean, it's a lot of his dialogue. It's a large portion of it. But even so, because
the first three things that always come up in his Google search is Vanessa, and then Vanessa Art Gallery.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Vanessa painting rabbit? Question mark. Rabbit in snow. But anyway,
Vanessa phone number.
Vanessa Island.
He's Google searching her past and shit.
Right. White pages.
Vanessa ex-boyfriends.
Vanessa LinkedIn profile. Yeah, but
Vanessa grocery list. Peapod account.
Yeah, exactly. What does she like to eat? So Kingpin.
Vanessa, I got this quail from Peapod.
I know you like prunes.
Just slams it right on the table. It looks wonderful, Wilson.
Yeah, right.
It looks excellent.
Let's paint with it.
So anyway, you've got Kingpin from front to back, which he's still wonderfully intense. They even find ways to use him. Once he, I won't spoil anything too great, but obviously he's not staying in prison the entire time. But after
I wonder how he gets out of jail.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Does he use his big hands and his big head and his big heart?
His big brain.
That's what
he used his big brain.
Yeah. So, but anyway, again, I don't want to try and spoil anything, because I think if you like Marvel and Netflix, it's definitely worth watching. But
the Daredevil seasons have always been consistently the strongest of the five.
Yeah, with Defenders, and
I think Defenders. I haven't actually watched Defenders, because honestly, I haven't watched anything past the first 5 episodes of Iron Fist.
Yeah, I watched maybe episodes 1 or 2, I think, of the Defenders, and it's pretty bad. And that's why I was
it just looked bad.
It's pretty
considering
bad.
that I didn't like the ending of Jessica Jones. I really didn't like half of Luke Cage, and Iron Fist was bad right from the start.
100%. And basically, this season, season 3 of Daredevil picks up apparently right after the events of the Defenders. Not just season 2 of Daredevil, after the Defenders is done. So
So what's the overall timeline of every... Wait, so is Luke Cage
God.
Season 2 happening at the same time as Daredevil Season 3?
Oh my God, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
You know,
about
I'm
that.
glad that these shows are starting to get canceled because it's already a fucking mess.
It's crazy. I agree. I think, you know, as we were talking
I hate
before,
to be the broken record, but I just don't like these Marvel TV shows. I think they are incredibly low quality for Disney and Netflix's money.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the potential reasons for the cancellations, as we were talking about before, Disney's launching their streaming service next year. And it's entirely possible that, because this was Netflix's decision, not Marvel's. So it's entirely possible we're going to see the Luke Cage and Iron Fist series once Disney launches the streaming service in 2019.
I think they may continue Luke Cage, but they may as well just restart Iron Fist.
Oh, I would hope so.
I would hope that they would fucking combine them, because the whole thing about Luke Cage and Iron Fist is that separated, I don't think they're interesting.
Yeah.
But it's in terms of comics, like when I think of like duos, Luke Cage and Iron Fist are like the top for me.
Yeah.
Because they work so well together. Because like Luke Cage is stoic and like cool and like fucking
Standoffish.
sly.
Yeah.
Whereas Iron Fist is really abrasive and arrogant, and yeah, it just works. They balance each other out. Red Oni, blue Oni.
Sure.
It's that perfect mix. But the fact that Defenders is all they've had to be together, and there was barely any time for them to actually start like a bromance.
Yeah.
I'm like, this sucks.
And it'll be interesting to see what, you know, because again, once the shows go to Disney, they can do things like maybe recast them, bring other people on board. The shows might look different when they go over to Disney's like streaming.
Yeah, maybe
service.
they'll have more money because holy fuck, these shows look terrible.
Absolutely. And
they look cheap.
On that note, I have to say, been noticing this a little more with movies and shows lately, but the lighting of Daredevil Season 3, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
There is some stuff, the way that they portray Karen, some conflict going on, and a big theme of the show is like redemption. They show you the past of a lot of these characters. Since we already know the origin story of Fisk and you know, everybody else out there, they go into Karen, and the origin story we get for this one is of Bullseye, because Bullseye, as was revealed in the trailer, he became a part of this season as well, and he sort of gets involved in Fisk's scheme overall. He's an FBI agent and then becomes like sort of the fake Daredevil. So that's what's stirring the pot around the city, and he becomes a part of Fisk's scheme to turn the city against Daredevil and everything. And the origin story we get in this season is that of Bullseye. You see him growing up and what his life was like. Also, gotta say, a very strong point, I thought, in terms of the building of side characters. It was just... It's you ended up caring about the guy. He's like this psychopathic kid, loses his parents very early on, and then his therapist becomes the
Played
closest.
by Colin Farrell.
No.
Or he shoots a peanut into an old lady's windpipe.
No, that it.
Does he do anything that cool? Does he fire 3 pins into a dude's fucking throat?
His whole projectile thing is very, very cool. Even the reveal of him, because they show him in the first couple of episodes.
He takes off the hat and you see the big dumb bullseye symbol right on his fucking forehead. Like Harry Potter.
No.
Oi, he's the chosen one.
You're alive!
I can't believe it, Colin. Oh.
Spitfire.
I'm coming for you, Daredevil.
Yeah, no, it was nothing like that. This is actually him before he is technically Bullseye. They never say that as his name. He's referred to as Dex. He's the FBI agent Benjamin Poindexter.
And at the end, he gets on top of a rooftop, takes off the mask, and goes, "Call me Bullseye."
I won't say how it ends, but it does.
You like darts there?
Watch me play. And then
He's just turning into an angry pirate.
I know, right. Who bar hops.
Good oi there, matey.
You look like the type who likes a good game.
You know, I like to put on at least one eye patch to make things even for each other.
Oh, don't worry about that. The bird is fake.
You know, we're not so different, you and I. You can't see anything, and I can see everything.
How do you like that? It's a joke I've been working on.
But the guy who plays Poindexter, Bullseye, is Wilson Bethel. And he does a very good job, and not just him as his acting. It was a good portrayal, but like what the show ended up doing was, as I mentioned, like the Poindexter's like a psycho and works his way into the FBI and stuff because he needs a job with rigidity and all that stuff. What the show does is every time he's like on screen, like by himself, not fighting, there's this loud humming and drone, and it's like this. They're trying to portray like
tinnitus.
Yeah, like this constant noise that's going on in his head, and it's just like it's clearly maddening, and that's what it's supposed to convey. And between his performance and the lighting that I was mentioning, some of the stuff that they use there, and some of the dialogue with him and Fisk and all that, he was a very cool character and a cool addition to the whole thing. And to your question, does he do anything cool? Even as an FBI agent, as the show early on, like episode 3 or 4,
he bench press like 600 pounds.
No, Fisk does though. There's in episode 2. There's a scene of him like just in prison. Like he's in jail still, so he just moves into the weight room.
And he's free things to do here in prison.
I've already read all my books. Time for me to lift.
I've gone through the Bible 2 times.
Didn't like it.
Deadlifting.
So anyway, though, early in the series, episode 3 or 4, Fisk is getting out of prison. He's being escorted out, and his entourage is ambushed. His whole motorcade of vehicles all get attacked, and all these people are like going nuts. The only FBI agent left alive and like standing is Poindexter, and he runs around this ambush scene.
Is that his real name?
Benjamin Poindexter, and they all call him Dex. Yeah. I don't know if it's his actual name in the comics. I don't know about that.
I just hate that.
I know.
Hate it.
Poindexter. I know. It's whatever.
When you hear
Dex.
Poindexter, you think he's gonna be a smarty pants. But
I know.
Dude, his fucking power is I can see real good.
What's it called? He drops Dex all the time. Every time he introduces himself, he's always just like, "Call me Dex," like to everybody.
Call me Dex, the mouse Pokemon.
That's right.
That's right.
I love to throw things. They always go where I tell them to.
I whisper sweet nothings into my darts before I throw them. I say, go for a low ton. Now go for a double bull. Let's aim for that triple 20.
That's right. Now buy me my drink, you disgusting subhuman.
So Poindexter runs around that Dex, I suppose, runs around he kills like 14 of the gang that attacked the FBI as they're escorting Fisk.
He sounds really tough.
But not it was the ways that he did it. It was like, his bullets went through like car windows at such angles. He's hit, he ricochets bullets to hit people. They made an effort to show it's not just that he's like firing wildly like from behind a thing. He's jumping around, and every single shot is between ricocheting or even like curving around, going through things to hit his targets. 14 shots, 14 kills. And Wilson Fisk witnesses it, and that's when he starts to be like, okay, like I'm going after this guy. But they show Fisk at the beginning, and you are kind of led to believe that he might not be as like scheming or as or simply as ahead of the game as you thought he was in the first season. He seems to be reacting to things, and it's not until later that different things are revealed and different dialogue between side characters and all this stuff.
So does the whole ending like the villain like speech is just him like, but I did this beforehand.
No.
Yeah, well, before you did that, I made sure to fill the taxi cab with nacho cheese.
Well, I went to the cheese factory and I filled that cheese with PCP.
No. It's nothing that bad. It's not him that you learn from in terms of what he was doing. It's these side characters. They tell like through the dialogue, they're talking to people, and they reveal that like Wilson's scheme stretches back like a year or two. You find out different events from people. That's what makes you realize that like, oh shit, no, he's been not just 1 or 2 steps ahead. This is like the long game on a whole nother level.
He's been playing that chess real good.
Real nicely done there, Mr. Fisk.
You did, Mr. Fisk.
You got beaten again.
But the end, it's a great. There's a lot of great fights. Just as you come to expect, one of the strong parts of Daredevil is that there's some gritty, long fight scenes. And there's that famous hallway one in season 1 that was like, it was like 4 minutes
And
or
then
something.
it was a stairwell and two.
In 3, he's in the prison. Matt Murdock goes back into the prison when Fisk is already out, and basically you find that Fisk still controls it, and so he gets attacked while he's in there. This is the gem of this season 3. It's episode 4. It is a 10-minute, not just one fight scene.
Like, easily very inspired by the Raid, like, fucking fight scene.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the camera is over his shoulder, follows him, and it's a seemingly, it's done in one shot, even though it probably wasn't, but it looks like it was. You know what I mean? And it's just a lot of great choreography, a lot of stuntmen, fire going on. There's like a riot going on in the prison around him while he's trying to escape, and he's fighting off all these dudes. Then in the middle of it, he has a dialogue with like the gang that he went in there to see. They exchange their lines, and then he gets escorted out, and there's more violence on the back end and stuff. It was so sweet. I mean, I cannot overstate that enough. It was really good. If you don't watch anything else of the season, check out episode 4, the fight scenes in the middle when Matt goes into the prison. It makes the whole thing worth it. I mean, it's really cool. But overall, I mean, like I said, I don't want to spoil too much here because if you like Marvel and you like Daredevil, or you just like me, you kind of like the ensemble cast of the characters, you will definitely like season 3. As Greg and I did say, it doesn't break the ceiling of Marvel's quality of TV shows or on any of these streaming devices. But that being said, I think season 3 of Daredevil is the strongest that they've come out with to date. It's the strongest show that they've done so far. So it's if you like that stuff, you might want to check it out. It's cool.
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know how much longer you have until Disney puts the big white glove back into the limelight and is like, ha! You can't have this fucking show anymore!
Since we have our streamer now, it's ours.
We gotta make a new Guardians of the Galaxy! We have to replace everybody! Everybody!
But we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We found a new wrestler to take over Dave Bautista!
Cena.
How about The Undertaker? Anyone? Alright, you all fucking suck!
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I watched, and then after that it was, just kind of floating on the boat there with Charles, and it was
Wow.
little strange. Things got a little bit weird.
Mr. Charles.
Yeah, he was kind of like,
Oh, hey, why don't you come a little closer here? I got a favor to ask you. Hey, why don't you come in a little closer? Make sure to bring that Kleenex with you. Make sure it's got the aloe. It makes my nostrils feel good. I can't buy any more pocket squares. My wife says
I can't breathe.
says the budget's all squeezed shut on that stuff. You know what else needs a good squeezing? My nostrils. Anybody help me out with that? Come on, just like a cow. Like you grab a cow teat, just think of my nose as a teat. Just milk it. Just milk my nose.
yeah, it was like that. It was a bit like that. So it was
I
disturbing.
don't like you hanging out with this snotty pirate.
Yeah, well, like I said, he kind of helped me out of some weird spots, and now I kind of owe him. So it's so weird. It's a whole thing. But anyway, what did you get into, man? Please help me take my mind.
Well,
Help me take my mind.
Well, Freak's been trying to get me to do a little bit more work around the free clinic in order for me to continue room and board there for free.
Uh-huh.
So, right now he's made me take over the mail room.
Now that's the room where only men can go in, right?
No, it's the one where letters come in.
Oh, okay.
Like mail.
Okay.
M-A-I-L.
I gotcha.
Not L-E. No, the free clinic is welcome to all genders.
Oh, gender neutral. I gotcha.
Yeah, it's a gender neutral place. It's a safe place in the free clinic.
That's good.
As long as you don't go into the basement. That's free.
That's your area. That's your
that's
area.
my area.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's also like the free clinic slogan. Like it's in big white letters on front of it. It
Safe
says,
space, but the basement.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
But in any case, he's had me like going into the mailroom to switch letters around, make sure that certain doctors get their stuff or patients are getting their packages. Because some of them been having their, like, UPS come to the hospital. I'm like, I ain't got no fucking time for that. You send that shit to home.
That's right, yeah. Unless it's food, I want nothing to do with it.
I was like, unless it's got some good in it, I don't know, Mr. Charles Schultz. I don't give shit.
Get it out of here.
Get it out of here. But we did get one package, and it was a pretty hefty size box. I'm like, this looks like a little bigger than most things that are sent here. Usually it's like books or CDs, those small, tiny things. I'm like, all right, I want to see what this is. I'm sure this guy's dead or whatever. If not, then, I don't know, Freak will probably kill him by accident. I mean, it's pretty common.
Safe bet, I think.
I mean, he's not only the head of the Free Clinic, he is also lead surgeon, lead doctor, and then after the bodies have passed, he becomes chief spirit detective.
Yep.
So,
judge, jury, executioner, and
exorcist.
Yeah.
All the above.
He wears many hats, does Freak. Not enough pants either.
No,
I think I would say.
He cycles through a lot of fedoras, but he still wears that trench coat.
Yeah. Special kind of a weird dude.
Yeah. But I crack open the box, and I'm like, all right, I want to see what's inside this little bitch. I want to see what's going on here. And it's a brand new Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
And I'm like, wow, Freak already has one of these, but it's mine now.
Yeah.
So I take it out, and I'm ripping open the boxes, and I see that there's a game included.
Wow.
I was like, what is this?
Fortunate.
And, Donnie Boy, I got my hands on Megaman 11.
Megaman XI.
No, just LL 11. They don't use X's
Oh.
in normal Mega Man.
Really? Why is
Mega
it a
Man
Roman
X.
numeral?
No, Roman numerals don't work with Mega Man. Roman numerals are only for Final Fantasy games.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And I don't know, anyone else that's trying to be avant-garde with their fucking video games.
So it's just LL.
So it's just a 1-1.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's a double one.
Sure, nice and easy.
No, it spells out 11. It says Mega Man 11, and it's all full letters.
a waste of space on the game.
It takes up the entire box. It's all you see. In fact, the only thing you'd see is the E from Mega Man.
It's marketing. That's good. It gets it right out there, though.
Yeah. But yeah, this is Mega Man 11, the first Mega Man game without Keiji Inafune still working at Capcom. That's the guy who created the series and then created a horrible flop with Mighty Number 9, which was, for those who don't know, Inafune left Capcom. He wanted to make his own new Mega Man project. He tried to start 2 of them. Both of them failed. Well, the first one got funded and was a critical failure. And then the second game he tried to kickstart only like 15, 16 days after the first Kickstarter ended.
Ooh.
It's
bad form.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Stop
Just
it.
a money grab.
But, man, I gotta say, without him on the team, they kind of nailed it.
Really?
They nailed this.
Nice.
So Mega Man 11, if you've ever played a Mega Man game before, guess what?
What?
Dr. Wily, he's free.
Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily. I will never, ever let Capcom down for Mega Man 8's hilarious voice acting.
That was pretty
had
bad
to,
stuff.
We had to stop them immediately, Mega Man.
They keep
when we find that energy radar, we'll find Dr. Wily.
They kept in like the little vocal flubs and
we must stop
restarts.
him immediately, Mega Man. There's no editing. It was like one line read.
Slap it on
this
there.
This dude sounds drunk off his ass, and he can't pronounce any words.
That's amazing.
Mega Man, come in immediately.
Emilio,
we really need this done. Mega Man.
Where was the whiskey? Yeah, okay, cool.
I need to get my walks off, Mega Man.
Get
your sister Woe in here.
I can still remember my childhood, Mega Man.
I remember the first time me and Wiley were in school together. He said, rocks off to you, White.
You'll never be a brownie. That's it. I
And then he did his evil laugh.
Big obnoxious fucking Wily jumps down. But yeah, Mega Man 11. They actually go into a bit of a story this time around.
Wow.
We find out a little bit of what caused Dr. Wily and Dr. Light to actually have a little faux pas and why they decided to break free and end their partnership.
Okay.
Where Wily went on to become an evil doctor and Dr. Light went on to be a goody two-shoes.
So you get to witness that moment of different.
I mean, the game
ideals.
starts that way. Every single time you boot it up, it always starts with Wily and Light going, "Oh, we need to give robots free thought." And then Wily's like, "Fuck that. Robots will always be tools."
Yeah.
Which, honestly,
It's a good debate.
From like when they're discussing about how robots should be, I'm like, kind of on Wily on this.
Oh, tools always.
Tools always.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you give them free thought,
Don't do
they'll
it.
just overcome us.
Don't do it. No, it's
like, oh, but
too
we can-
late. It's too late.
We can live in a society where we both live in harmony. I'm like,
no.
we have a hard enough time doing that with other humans.
Not to mention, have you ever read any science fiction novel ever? It doesn't
It never
works.
go
that way.
There's a
Nope.
reason why that they make these fiction stories. It's propaganda, so to make sure that you don't do something stupid.
Don't ever do it. You heard what that robot said, like in Japan. It was like, how do you keep humans safe? Put them in human zoos. It's fucked up. They're coding, even to protect us. They would not realize how fucked up their solutions are. You just can't do it. Machine
Whereas
learning.
Wily's like, no, fuck that. Keep them as robots. Give them no free will.
Yeah.
But give them this double gear system that makes them super fast and super strong, but you're still in control.
Absolutely.
So they will never turn on you.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's what you
I
want.
don't want my fucking dishwasher to come up in my bedroom at
right,
night.
I know.
It's me, Washman, and I see you haven't been rinsing your plates before you put them inside me.
You will obey code.
Yeah.
So the main gimmick for this game, it runs like any other Mega Man game. You jump, you shoot, you slide. You can slide charge. You can charge up your Buster Beam. And then you have Rush, your reliable little robot dog that can turn into a spring for a higher jump, or he can turn into a jet where he can fly
Beautiful.
across the screen like any other Mega Man game, like the classic games. But this time around, the game introduces the double gear system.
Okay.
So double gear, it has two modes. One, things slow down to a crawl so you can make really good timed jumps and dodges,
Nice.
or you can give yourself more power by amplifying all of your weapon attacks. So your Buster now fires 2 charges, and all your special weapons have like a Mega Man X effect where if you charge up the weapon, it does something completely new.
Oh, fun.
So it's really fun messing around with those two gimmicks. And you would think because you have like that slowdown and power up like ability, it would make the game easier. No. This is classic Mega Man to the T. It's tough. These stages are fucking long.
Oh, man.
Some of these stages can be upwards to 10-15 minutes.
Wow.
They are so long, and the checkpoint system is really, really like punishing. If you fuck up like on one tiny jump, you can go back as far as like 8 or 9 rooms.
Oh, man.
You may even have to refight bosses.
That is brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's rough, but like any other Mega Man game, it's perfection through failure.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you die and the more you get used to the double gear system, the better you do at the game.
For sure.
Until finally, you fight Wily. You also have to fight the fucking Yellow Devil again. I hate the Yellow Devil so much.
Yellow devil.
Little devil. It's just big blocks that fly across the screen, and then you have a very small, limited time window to shoot in his eyeball. Oof. I fucking hate him, and I don't know why they keep bringing him back. No one wants him back. Let the Yellow Devil die.
You know, I totally agree with that. I used to do business with the yellow
Get
devil
out
the
of
East
here, you fucking snotty
Holy
weirdo!
shit, we didn't ask you. And how did he sneak up on us?
Oh my god!
His shoes
I didn't
are
even
so
hear
soft.
the door open.
Dude, his shoes are so soft. That's crazy. Dude, Charles,
Jesus.
seriously stay out of here, though. We said we were recording, okay? Yeah, okay, great. Weird.
God,
So
my
weird.
heart.
So weird and so quiet.
Oh my god.
We're going to have to start putting some, like maybe a bell by the door or something like that. Something to signify when he comes in. I mean, that's...
Like a 7-Eleven? We gotta have a little door chime?
just
So every time the door opens, beep-boo!
just something to indicate, like, when somebody comes in.
We're gonna have to if you want this guy around.
Oh, I mean, he's just, like I said,
God, he's like a big, snotty, sneaky rat.
and he's so old. It's just like, you know, he's knocking on death's door, and I have to hope
But
that
he's
he
so
does.
rotund, too.
I know. He's been living a good
He's
life.
portly.
Yeah, he's and also you can tell how many cold cuts he eats. They're like seeping through his neck. He's got wide pores. So
It
gross.
looks like he keeps them, like, there for safety.
Yeah, like almost like
I got this Italian hoagie that I've been keeping around with me all day. Why don't you just lift up the neck flap there? Just lift up the neck flap. I got a sandwich underneath it. Just please.
The one underneath that one's got an ice cream sandwich. Oh no, it melted from my body heat.
And it tastes like pepperoni anyway now.
That
So,
dude looks like he wears a fucking white tank top in the winter and he still sweats in a snowstorm.
100%, and the sweat's like yellowy on the sides. Greasy, a greasy man to be sure.
No. I'm
To
going
be
back
sure.
to talking about Mega Man. That dude is disgusting.
Bring it back.
So one of the cool things about classic Mega Man is normal like Buster shots and whatever. It's boring. Like, you just shoot a lemon. It's boring.
Thunk.
It's when you get the boss powers when the game starts getting interesting. But I think that most of the classic weapons, like from the Mega Man Classic series, most of those special weapons are kind of meh. Like I can only think of maybe like 3 or 4 weapons from like 1 through 9, because I never played 10, that I actually gave a shit about, like the Metal Blade or Crash Bomb or something like that. This time around, I liked almost every single weapon. So my favorite one is from one of the Robot Masters called Tundra Man.
Ooh, Tundra Man.
Tundra Man is an ice skater.
Yeah.
So he has this beautiful icicle like ponytail. And the dude, like, skates across the screen, and he's just screaming, "Elegant! Wonderful! Ecstatic!"
That's wonderful.
But he gives this power where, like, you make, like, a mini tornado from wherever Mega Man is standing, and everything above and below him gets hit.
Yeah.
It's usually a one-hit kill on everything it touches. If you put on power gear, that shit turns into a screen nuke.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is gone.
You're all done.
The problem is it uses a lot of ammo.
I bet. Well, but there's got to be the cost. If you can kill everything on the screen in one, like that's a huge win right there.
Yeah. Some of the other powers I really liked. Torchman. I fucking love Torchman. Like, I loved all these Robot Masters except like maybe like Acid Man. I think Acid Man sucked.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, I'm like, you guys are really colorful and fun and interesting. And the cool thing about all the bosses is they have second forms.
Ooh, fun.
The one that was like heavily promoted, like of the Robot Masters, is Blockman, and his whole deal is like he makes blocks and you drop them. But when he goes into power gear during his boss fight, because all the bosses either go into speed or power gear, when fucking Blockman does it, he turns himself into this massive golem that has its own health bar, and it changes the fight completely.
Yeah.
And then after you break that thing and he's down to like his final health, he just stands on the opposite side of the screen throwing blocks at you, just going, "Die! Please! Die!" Like it's a full-on desperation attack.
Yeah.
And he can fucking wipe you out. Because the golem thing corners you and then does a shit ton of damage. You can't run underneath it.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it's up to the corner of the room, you ain't moving. So you got to try and kill it fast. And then once he gets to the other side of the room, he's just like throwing it nonstop. The window to jump in between boxes, very tiny.
Yikes.
These are like some of the most memorable boss fights, I think, in classic Mega Man. Maybe even all of Mega Man.
Wow.
It's a great time. I think the music is kind of meh. It's good, but it's not Mega Man good.
Yeah.
Mega Man's always had good music. Even their bad games have good music. Like, I hate X6. That's got like one of the best soundtracks in the series. Fuck, it sucks. It's like, I want to listen to your dope-ass song, but your stages suck. Everything about this game sucks.
But 11 is good.
11 is a great time. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of difficulty modes, a ton of achievements linked to that. And then there's trial modes and time trials.
Oh, nice.
So this game will keep you busy for a very, 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 very long time.
Cool.
It wants you to get used to like the entire game system. So learn all the stages, learn all the boss patterns. There's even an achievement like to beat the game in under an hour.
Oh, wow.
It's possible, but it's fucking hard. You got to be perfect.
Yeah, probably take you a long ass time to get to that level.
You can't have a game over once. Oof. So you have to beat it all in an hour. That's rough. You
Crazy.
can't even saving takes time too.
Yeah.
It'll add like 2 minutes to your total time, and you're like, it's got to be a one and done.
Ration those, yeah.
If you fucking fail, you got to start all the way from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's rough.
One of those time-consuming ones.
But, like, I wish we had the Desert Island question this episode, because I'm like, I think I might have taken this.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, the hardest thing it has is called the Dr. Light Trials.
Uh-huh.
And the Dr. Light Trial is 30 rooms of platforming and fighting challenges, and they are so fucking hard. I have not gotten past, I think, level 7 of 30.
Oh, man.
And then after you beat that, supposedly there's another one called the Impossible Challenge where it's 60 floors.
Good God.
And I don't know a whole lot of people who have actually done it. There's a YouTuber I like a lot called the Completionist. He did it, and he was like, I got this game early so I can complete it for its release date. And I had just beaten it the morning that I am recording this new episode.
Ooh, man.
And I'm like, that's fucking rough.
Long time.
Wow.
Can't even imagine it.
But yeah, Mega Man 11. It's on everything. I really like it on a Nintendo console. Like, classic Mega Man I've always associated with Nintendo, whereas the X series I've always associated with PlayStation. It's weird like that. But I highly recommend this. If you like classic Mega Man, you'll love this. I contend it as one of the strongest in the series. And if you really like the X series, I think this is like way better paced than any other Mega Man game, because those all move fucking slow, and Mega Man doesn't have the move pool that X does. So it's really fun. Play around with it. Yeah, and enjoy it. I loved it. I thought it was a great time.
Sweet. Mega Man 11. Yeah, those games are obviously a huge following with those, and classic Nintendo franchise. That's real good.
And hey, Capcom said if this was successful, then we'll probably get an X9, and I would fucking love a Mega Man X9.
There you go. So no more reason to go check that out.
Please give me X9, please. Please.
Well, what I'm going to give you right now, Greg, is this message that we're pulling from Guga Greg's List.
Guga Greg's List!
At gmail.com this week, which is what Greg and I like to do, because that's the place where you can communicate with us, whether you got a question or an answer or something you just want to get off your mind and into our ears and share with everybody else as well. But
yeah, help us escape with your problems, concerns, questions, and overall positive vibes.
Yeah, we love those. Bring them to us. And this week brought to us is from a lady named Anne. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Anne.
She says, hey, guys, just found your podcast, but I'm in the mood for something spooky. Since Halloween is right around the corner.
Spooky.
There you go, Anne. Something spooky for you right
I just
there.
scared you, didn't I?
How you like that? And it's in your head space. Like, can't get that out of there.
No, you just hear me rustling around both sides of your ears. Look, I'm on this side, and now I'm on this side.
That's right.
Actually, it doesn't sound any different because we're recording this in mono.
Sorry. So it's always coming through both either way.
Whoops.
And we won't mess with the pan either, so we're not going to do that to you, okay, Ann?
Yeah.
We'll keep a limit on our spooky.
I don't mess with pans.
No.
No,
Not
because
s-
this is real.
And not since that fucking fawn, obsessed with the non, fucked with us a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't fuck with pans
That
after
dude, that dude fucking crushed my bones.
Yeah, fucking little weird goat-legged angry man, always with the garlic naan. Back
That
to
naan
Ann.
was delicious, though. It was
Yeah.
just coming out of every hair follicle.
Much appreciated on that. That was great. Got me through the week. I definitely kept some of that. Since Halloween is right around the corner, Ann says, what are some scary movies or games you can recommend?
Spooky times.
Looking for some heebie-jeebies around this time. Thanks, Ann from Athens, Illinois.
Ooh.
Thanks, Ann. Thanks, Ann from Athens.
Yeah, and all right.
Spooky movies and
Spooky
games
movies.
for Halloween.
Well, I mean, like the like go to like spooky games is always like fucking Resident Evil,
or Silent Hill. Those are the classic ones. I will go to a PlayStation franchise, the Fatal Frame games. Those
Oh,
are
yeah.
nice and spooky. I like that. You're got to take pictures of the undead. Adds a looking through the camera adds a real freaky element to the whole thing.
I can kind of recommend one. It's kind of horror. It's by the guys who made Amnesia, which Amnesia is a great horror game to play if you've never played that before. They made a game called Soma.
Soma.
I think I may have talked to you about Soma.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
I think it was when we first started hanging out. I was like, I've been playing the Soma thing.
Yeah, Soma boy.
Soma's dope. It's you're like a dude who has brain damage, and you're trying to figure out how to cure like your internal bleeding.
Damn.
And you go through a brain scan, and all of a sudden you wake up in this underwater facility, and you think it may or may not be a fucking simulation.
Uh-huh.
And you're trying to run away from these barnacle machine robot monsters.
Dude.
Its gameplay is pretty meh, but the story is super fucking good. It's great at being creepy. And if you want to be in a horror game that takes place underwater, then that's a great job.
That's a great one. Speaking of that, let's go BioShock.
Yeah, the original BioShock.
Love
That's a
that.
great horror.
And it's a fun playthrough. There's a lot that's
Not
rewarding
2.
about that game.
2 feels way less of a horror game because you play as a fucking big daddy.
Yes.
So that takes away
The freakiness.
all the scariness. You're
Yeah.
like, why should I be afraid? I'm a fucking big daddy,
Yeah,
dude.
stay away from 2. 3, though, BioShock Infinite, that's
BioShock
kind of a return to
Infinite's
form.
good. Yeah, but that's not
as scary.
That's not a horror game at
no,
all.
no, and it's it's more in the dialogue and the story that kind of like is that
Gameplay
sticks
of
with
that
you.
game is kind of meh.
Yeah.
BioShock 1
But
is
the
where
first
it's
one,
at.
yeah, I'll also recommend an Xbox 360 game from a while back, Call of Cthulhu. That's one based on
that's a
the
classic.
H.P. Lovecraft stuff, and you're in this weird town that like you just can't get a figure on what's going on. There's a cult involved. It's very very freaky stuff. That's good. Condemned also 1 and 2 on the Xbox.
Yeah,
you play a
Condemned is on everything. I love
Oh,
Condemned.
gotcha. Yeah. That's those are great games. Like you play a detective with like some paranormal sensory stuff, so you get visions, and you're trying to track down a serial killer, and you go through all these freaky places with no lights and things jumping out. Very, very cool. Like that one too.
Yeah, well, those are a bunch of game recommendations. Movie recommendations. I'd like to throw out my favorite horror movie, The Thing.
Ooh, The Thing. That's a classic.
That's a John Carpenter classic.
Yeah.
It's a bottle movie. It's about characters who have no idea who is a monster because this monster is able to perfectly replicate anything it eats and kills.
Right.
So it's a great like psychological horror movie where you're like, who is the thing? Who like where are the bread trails and
Yeah.
the fucking monster effects are great except the like the stop motion like
Yeah.
Wilford Brimley monster at the end of the movie.
Yeah, you really, speaking of that, you really can't go wrong with a John Carpenter movie. Honestly, I mean, like there are some goofier
Halloween.
ones. Exactly. I mean, there's the Halloween franchise, obviously. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm kind of a sucker for that. The older one more than the remake from more recently. But
I love the first Alien. Alien is a great horror movie.
Alien is a great horror movie. That's and it's people don't really bring it up. I feel like in the among
Well, they
other
always bring up
horror
the
ones.
sequels because the
Yeah.
sequels turn into like action movies.
Yeah, right, exactly. But no. The first Aliens is really good, scary that way. I like going way back. There's one 1937 movie that I love to watch. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and it's from way back then, but it's same way where it's not like jump scary in the way that, today thrillers are in any way, but psychologically kind of like the blending of his identities and stuff is really like that really is haunting in that way.
And then for something that's like pretty new, if you didn't see it over the summer, I can recommend Hereditary.
Oh, Hereditary. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I can recommend that movie. I think that's out like on streaming services and whatnot now. Great, like psychological horror movie. It's very good.
Yeah, and I think also Exorcist is one that holds up. I still think if you go into that movie, like if you've seen it before, it can be entertaining, like in a laughable way. Like you can kind of get some humor out of it. But honestly, if you go into it with the right mindset, The Exorcist, I think, still really holds up as a scary psychologically and just kind of right on the surface, like disturbing. So that one's kind of freaky too.
Nice. Well, those are a bunch of recommendations we can say for
spooky stuff. Yeah,
for scaries, for spookies.
You
could watch Interview with a Vampire.
Sure, if you want to see some brooding looks from both Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, and who was the other guy in there? Antonio Banderas? Like, wasn't there a third dude in there too?
Mary Jane Watson was in it.
Mary Jane Watson. Oh yeah. Little. God, what is her name? Kirsten Dunst. Mm-hmm. Little Kirsten Dunst, yeah.
Little Kirsten.
That's right. But yeah, so those are some. Hope that helps answers your question, Anne from Athens.
You know what? A couple more suggestions. I'm just going to lay out two. If you want something that's more on the sillier routes for horror movies, Slither.
Oh yeah. James Gunn, was that?
That's James Gunn.
Yep.
Slither and Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
That is a great movie. It's Alan Tudyk, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but he's in the new Voltron show.
Yeah.
But the whole shtick is that Tucker and Dale are just two average rednecks, and this group of teenagers go into the woods, and they think, like, it's like guilty by association. They think that Tucker and Dale are two crazy rednecks out to murder them, and they accidentally keep killing each other. Whereas Tucker and Dale just like are in the area, so they keep coming across these dead bodies.
Right.
There's like an amazing scene where Alan Tudyk's character is being stung by a bunch of bees. So he's running away from the forest and he's screaming at the kids, "Run! Run!" And they think that he's trying to murder them. But one of them notices that he's being attacked by bees. And he's about to yell like, "Oh, wait, no, let me help you." And then he gets fucking impaled by a tree.
Gotcha. So it sounds like
there's some great, I can't say anything else about the movie because some of the deaths in that movie are so fucking funny.
That's cool. So it sounds like it's kind of in the same vein as a Shaun of the Dead, like freaky, but also like very funny too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very over the top, like just poking fun at every single like horror movie trope. In fact, Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. That's
an amazing deconstruction of horror movies.
Yes, love that one. If you haven't watched that, Cabin in the Woods is great. It's
that's one of like the first movies I've seen. The guy who plays Thor in too.
Oh yeah. Oh God, Chris Hemsworth.
Hunky McHunkerton.
Yeah. Right. Just running around in a different setting. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so yeah, those are some titles that if you're movies or games that you can take to the bank. Those are pretty standards with the freaky stuff. So good luck getting the heebie-jeebies there to Anne and to everyone. Enjoy Halloween. That's coming up soon, and
our next episode will be the day after Halloween.
Yes, it will. So yeah, look forward to that. We're going to be looking forward to write in with anything if you got some good costumes, pictures, ideas for both Greg and I. We got a little bit of a spooky ball that the rest of the hobos around here get into, and that's going to be great. Another good potluck, some fun costumes, punch bowls, all kinds of good stuff.
Instead of the hobo ball, it's the hobo Halloween party.
Yeah.
Costume party.
Exactly, the costume party. So we always look forward to that. And yeah, we hope you have a good Halloween stuff planned as well. Brief recap, Greg recommending Mega Man 11, and I'm recommending Daredevil Season 3 if you're into that stuff. Before I forget, Greg, one last thing that I wanted to mention about the Daredevil thing, the guy who plays Bullseye, that Wilson F. Bethel, I think the guy's name was, Wilson Bethel, he was actually... Right, he was one of the second runners-up to play Captain America before Chris Evans got the job.
Oh, he's a loser.
Yeah,
he got stuck with the bit parts.
Exactly, but he was apparently. I mean, he screen tested, went in there, tested the dialogue, had the costume on, everything.
Man,
got real close to
Captain
playing
America because this is
that's Avengers 4 is the last Chris Evans is doing of the character.
Same with Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man, I think.
Wow, oh man, yeah, it's definitely a round of goodbyes to a lot of these the people who have been playing these heroes.
Once that final finger snap happens, like. We're just going to have a new Captain America. It's going to be a whole new guy.
It's going to wake up. It's probably going to be Bucky. It's going to wake up
You know what?
as
I mean,
Bucky.
this is the perfect chance for them to, do a comic books and make their writing horrible.
Yeah, they
Hit
could do
the
that.
reset button like, oh, fuck, everything got real bad real fast.
Just kidding. Go back to the beginning. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's what we're going to be up to. We got to go, Greg. We got to find a way to get out of here without alerting Charlie over there because I don't think you want to be.
Are we going to Metal Gear Solid this? Or are we going to crawl on the floor?
I think that's probably the best way because there is that hatch right on the backside, and we're going to have to slide under that because
all right,
it's
I
not
better
a
start
doorstep.
getting this equipment.
Yep, all right,
wrapped up.
Yep, so we're going to slide on out of here. Stay quietly, obviously, because Charlie's a weird dude. But yeah, thanks so much again for tuning in. I'm Don.
Thanks, guys, for joining us on the Boxcar Buddies ASMR.
Yeah, we're really great to have you.
So happy.
Yes.
That you're with us.
Tune in next week when Greg and I eat potato chips.
And pickles.
Anything with a nice crunch.
You hear that?
What is it?
My heart beating because I don't want Charles to stand over me with his snotty nose.
It sounds irregular. You have to have that looked at.
I think I need something to plug this up.
A cardiologist. You need a cardiologist. Take a look at that.
No, I need an optometrist.
Oh, to look down.
So I can look down at my nose. Oh. I want my eyes to stretch out like the wolf.
Oh,
from
yeah.
those Tex Avery cartoons.
I want to pluck my eyes out like in Beetlejuice.
That's disgusting.
I want to wear them on my fingers like olives.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, let's get out of here.
Oh, that's so gross.
I'm going to try it right now.
I'm going to vomit. No, stop.
Ow, it hurts. Owie.
Hey, what are you doing over there?
What you just heard was a fantasy, a fiction cooked up for your amusement and the catharsis of the hosts. Please, have mercy on them.